Hello, welcome to Dean's Kitchen again, I guess. Hey, we are cooking tonight. Still in South Florida, so still on seafood kick. But I'm gonna do a lobster polenta with pan-seared scallops. So I want to kind of run through that with you. It's easy, it's super easy. It sounds fancy, and maybe it is, but it's super easy. So I'm gonna start by, this is gonna go into my polenta, so I'm just gonna start by splitting this tail straight down like that. You want to be careful, make sure the knife doesn't slip. So like this is a warm water tail, which I like. We'll pull that meat out, and I'm probably going to discard the shell. I don't need it for anything. And then I'm just going to slice this up into chunks like that. So this is going to go into the polenta. I'm going to saute it, put it into the polenta, the big chunks of lobster. Next, we're going to pan-sear some scallops. Now, these are, the bigger the scallop, the better as far as I'm concerned. But these scallops have a little neck on them right here, or a foot, they call it. And I just take those, they're tough, and you gently just break them off like that. That gets thrown out. We'll put the scallops down here to dry really well. So there's another neck right there, or a foot. And that one, sometimes they're hard to spot and even harder to get a hold of, but that's it. All right, so when we come back, I'll show you the polenta. You've seen that before. We're gonna do it again tonight, and then we'll go through the searing of scallops, which is pretty cool. If you like scallops, this is great because you'll save a bunch of money by doing them at home. Back in a minute. Okay, for the polenta, I've got I'm using 3 ears of corn. I want to make sure I have plenty. I'm just going to take this off of the cob. And the corn has not been cooked. It's raw. This is yellow corn. You can use white or bicolor or whatever, is good and fresh. Just take that off the cob like that. And we're going to throw it in the blender. Of course, I've pull the strings and the husk and all that stuff. We're just going to throw that in the blender. Like so. Set it to spin as quick as it will. Now I will tell you, when you're blending this stuff, a lot of times food processors are great for this, but I don't have one here. So a lot of times when you blend this, it takes a little bit for the blender to get going. Sometimes I'll even push down on it a little bit with a wooden spoon or something, being careful not to get into the blade to get it spinning, but it will go. So just keep running it until you get a nice puree. We'll come back when we get that done. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the polenta. And as you can see, I blended my corn. That is literally corn on the cob that's just pureed. So it's gonna be super easy. Take my lobster and put it, I've got a couple tablespoons of butter. And polenta is great with, you want quite a bit of butter. And we're just gonna throw those lobster chunks down in there. Let those cook for just a minute. Now I'm doing this in 2 stages because the scallops, I'm gonna pull the polenta to the side, just let it stay warm, then we'll come back and do the scallops. It's just a little bit too much to handle all at one time. Scallops I don't want to overcook them. They take a little bit of concentration, so not a lot, but enough to where I want to do this and just push it to the side. So we've got our lobster, we're searing it, and I'm about to pour the polenta in and just let the lobster finish up. So for the polenta, we're just going to pour it in like that. Now we want to season this. It needs a little salt and pepper, so I've got some pre-ground pepper. I just ground that. And then some salt here. So it definitely needs those things. And that's it, folks. We're just going to stir that around, let it get thickened. You can see it's already starting to thicken. It's going to have that nice lobster in it. Now I'm going to push that to the side over here, and I'm going to start the scallops here in just a minute. I'm going to let this cook just a little bit more. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of scrape the bottom of that pan to keep it from getting too stuck on there, so I don't have a big mess to clean up. We'll come back in a minute. Okay, so for the scallops, you want us to go ahead and salt and pepper them. They're super dry. I dried them with a paper towel, and that's what you want. And we're gonna go ahead and season them here to some extent. So salt and pepper. And then I've got my skillet, I hope hot enough. You want a pretty hot skillet for this. Yeah, it's hot. So a couple tablespoons of avocado oil, and that actually may be just a pinch too much, so I'm gonna move it back here. And cut that back just a pinch. Now what we want to do, these go so fast, so you just want to lay them in there carefully. Shake that pan a little bit so they don't stick. And then leave them alone. Turn my heat back up. We'll try to get a good sear on these. We'll come back when we flip them here in just a minute. Okay, so I started searing these scallops. I wasn't happy with the way the skillet was performing. I switched to a non-stick. That one should have done the job, but for whatever reason it didn't. So you want hot. Non-stick is great for this. And these have been going about a minute and a half. High heat. I'm getting a good sear. And I will tell you, it made me a little nervous that they weren't searing in that first skillet. And these are retaining just a little bit of water, which I also don't like, but they're going to work. So we're going to go about another minute on this side, and we'll come back. Okay, so I'm going to pull the scallops. They're ready. I'm just going to kind of nicely lay them around whatever arrangement you want. All right, next I've got some shallot, garlic, and chives. I'm gonna just kind of dump that in there. Throw down a little bit of butter. Move that around. We're gonna let that cook for just a minute. We're gonna make a little sauce for them. Okay, so I've got to let these go about 30, 45 seconds. Just a little bit of white wine. A couple of pats of butter to thicken it. To go over the scallops. And finally, I'm going to do a little lemon zest. And you can see the sauce kind of coming together. So just a little bit of sauce over the scallops. Not going to get carried away. From here, I've got some asparagus set to the side. That off. Not quite done yet. We are going to at least try to dress it up a little bit with some fresh chive. So anyway, it's going to be our scallops tonight with fresh asparagus lobster polenta. Should be really good. Presentation's fair. Not great, but it's fair. We're in a hurry, so we're getting ready to watch the UT football game. So anyway, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. See you soon.